Phrasal verbs are considered to be informal, right? I mean, you can't use them in a piece of formal writing like an essay, report, or proposal. Can you? Very often that is the case, but in this video we're going to look at 10 phrasal verbs that you could and should use in your formal writing. My name is Matt and welcome back to Fantastic Phrasal. When you're writing in English, register is important. That means that your writing should be suitably formal or informal, depending on the type of text that you're writing. If you're taking the Cambridge B2, C1 or C2 exams, IELTS or TOEFL, you will gain or lose marks depending on the register that you use. And of course, you should consider register for any academic writing. Before we look at the phrasal verbs, I'd like to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, done? Good, let's move on. So, let's look at some verbs which are particularly useful in an introduction. The first one is consist of. If something consists of something, it is made of or formed from that thing. For example, this proposal consists of 2 main sections. Or, the survey consisted of a series of multiple choice questions. Moving on, we've got focus on. If you focus on someone or something, you give a lot of attention to them. This essay focuses on the role that technology plays in education today. Many of the comments we received focused on the lack of activities for teenagers. Next up, we have devote to. If you devote your time or energy to something, you give all of it to that purpose. An increasing number of people devote their free time to learning a new language. It's often used in the passive voice too. I recommend that more resources be devoted to improving the college canteen. Carry out is a very common phrasal verb in formal writing. If you carry something out, you do or complete something, especially something that you have said you will do or have been told to do. It's common to carry out research, tests, a survey, or instructions. The research was carried out over a period of 3 months. Several tests were carried out before reaching a conclusion. Point out. If you point out something, you direct attention towards it. The principal pointed out that budget restraints would restrict our options. As Jones points out, families will struggle to cope with the cost of living. Phase in. If something is phased in, it's introduced gradually or in stages. The changes should be phased in over the next 5 years. The euro was phased in at the turn of the century. Narrow down. If you narrow down a list of things, you make it smaller by eliminating the things which are least important or suitable. The applicants were narrowed down to 3 interesting candidates. The student questionnaire allowed us to narrow down the options to 4. Put forward. If you put forward someone or something, you suggest them for other people to consider. And if you put forward an idea or opinion, you state that idea or opinion. The suggestion that was put forward was met with universal approval. Several people have put themselves forward for the role. Allude to. If you allude to someone or something, you mention them without talking about them directly. The question was alluded to several times during the meeting. The candidate alluded to an unusual experience during the interview. Account for. Account for means to form the total of something, or to give the reason for something. University graduates accounted for over 70% of the applicants. Recent price rises account for the high levels of dissatisfaction in the community. Right, so there you have it, 10 phrasal verbs that you can use in your formal writing. Part 2 will be uploaded very soon, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. Remember that you can also follow Fantastic Phrasal on Instagram. See you next time.